Welcome to the Professional and Vocational Licensing Virtual Board Meeting.
When the meeting begins momentarily, the chair will take a roll call, explain any specific rules.
Do you hear any sound from the video?
I can hear the sound.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
For this particular board, and then move to public comment. The name of the board member will appear on the bottom left-hand corner of your screen. For instance, this is board member Y, and this is board member E. Public testimony will be accepted at the beginning of the meeting and before each agenda item. You can indicate that you are ready to testify by clicking on the raise hand button being circled by the mouse on your screen now. At the appropriate time, the board will recognize you to speak and ask you to unmute your mic as shown here. Again, public testimony will be accepted at the beginning of the meeting and before each agenda item. Public attendees will not be able to unmute their microphone until recognized by the board. Public attendees who are recognized to testify will be asked to identify themselves by name and their affiliated organization if applicable. Please mute your microphone when you are finished speaking, as a courtesy to others and members of the board. Public attendees will not be able to unmute themselves after the testimony is completed unless recognized again after raising their hand. At some point during the meeting, the board may choose to move into executive session. When the board moves into executive session, the board members' microphones and video feeds will be turned off, and a similar screen as you see now will be displayed. When the board returns from executive session, their microphones will be turned on as well as their video cameras.
Welcome again to the Professional and Vocational Licensing Virtual Board Meeting.
At this time, the chair will call the meeting to order and take a roll call, as well as explain any additional rules that may be specific to this board.
Welcome, everyone. My name is Fernando Benavente, the chairperson of the Real Estate Appraiser Advisory Committee. To view the meeting and provide live oral testimony, please use the link at the bottom of the agenda. You'll be asked to enter your name. The committee requests that you enter your full name, but you may use a pseudonym or other identifier if you wish to remain anonymous. You will also be asked for an email address. You may fill in this field with any entry in an email format. Your microphone will be automatically muted. When the chairperson asks for public testimony, you may click the raise hand button found on your Zoom screen to indicate that you wish to testify about the agenda item. The chairperson will individually enable each testifier to unmute their microphone. When recognized by the chairperson, please unmute your microphone before speaking and mute your microphone after you finish speaking. If you cannot get internet access, you may get audio-only access by calling the Zoom phone number listed at the top of the agenda. Upon dialing the number, you will be prompted to enter the meeting ID, which is also listed at the top of the agenda. After entering the meeting ID, you will be asked to either enter your panelist number or wait to be admitted into the meeting. You will not have a panelist number, so please wait until you are admitted into the meeting. When the chairperson asks for public testimony, you may indicate you want to testify by entering asterisk and then 9 on your phone's keypad. After entering asterisk and then 9, a voice prompt will let you know that the host of the meeting has been notified. When recognized by the chairperson, you may unmute yourself by pressing asterisk and then 6 on your phone. A voice prompt will let you know that you are unmuted. Once you are finished speaking, please enter asterisk and then 6 again to mute yourself. For both internet and phone access, when testifying, you will be asked to identify yourself and the organization, if any, that you represent. Each testifier will be limited to 5 minutes of testimony per agenda item. If connection to the meeting is lost for more than 30 minutes, the meeting will be continued on a specified date and time. This information will be provided on the committee's website at https://cca.hawaii.gov/PVL/programs/Real Estate Appraiser /advisory_meetings/. Instructions to attend State of Hawaii virtual board meetings may be found online at https://cca.hawaii.gov state-of, I will now take a roll call of the committee members. Members, please respond by saying here, and if you are alone at your offsite location. I'm Fernando Benavente, and I'm here and alone. Amy Yamamoto,
I'm here and also alone.
Brian Brennan, Mark Komatsu,
I am here and I am alone.
Ron Rickhemper.
I am here and I am alone.
We have quorum, and I will call the meeting to order. It is 10:10 a.m. First item on the agenda is the approval of minutes from the December 16th, 2024 meeting. Is there anyone who would like to provide oral testimony on this agenda?
Thank you, Chair. This is Johnny. We do not have anyone requesting to provide testimony.
Thank you. So seeing none, I, Fernando Benavente, move to approve the minutes of the December 16th, 2024 meeting. I need a second by saying your name, and I second the motion.
Mark Komatsu, I second the motion.
Is there any discussion from the members? If none, I call for a vote. I will take a vote by roll call. Members, please say yes or no. Fernando Benavente votes yes. Amy Yamamoto, Brian Brennan, Mark Komatsu,
Yes.
Ron Rickhemper.
Yes.
Okay. The next item on the agenda is the chairperson's report. The chairperson has nothing to report. Next on the agenda is the executive officer's report.
None this time, not for today.
All right, next on the agenda is the applications section. So everyone has reviewed the applications, and does anyone would like to go into executive session? Okay, if not, then I, Fernando Benavente, move to approve the application for Kevin Lincoln. I need a second by saying your name, and I second the motion.
Ron Rickhemper, I second the motion.
Is there anyone who would like to provide oral testimony on this agenda item?
Thank you, Chair. We do not have anyone requesting to provide testimony.
Okay. And so then the pre-licensing courses were also reviewed. I reviewed the appraiser law in real world, key laws, and professional liability. Amy Yamamoto reviewed 2025 acts, day 1 and day 2. And Ron Rickhemper reviewed valuation bias and fair housing laws and regulations. I, Fernando Benavente, move to approve the pre-licensing education CE courses listed below. I need a second by saying your name, and I second the motion.
Mark Komatsu, I second the motion.
Is there any discussion from the members? If none, all in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed? There are none. The motion is carried. I, Fernando Benavente, move to approve the ratifications of the out-of-state real estate appraiser license certificate by endorsement, temporary recognition of license, and appraisal qualifications board course approval, CAP CE courses. I need a second by saying your name, and I second the motion.
Mark Komatsu, I second the motion.
Is there any discussion from the members? If none, all in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed? Having heard none, the motion is carried. So the next item on the agenda are the, let's see here, I think we went through the ratification. Is that everything, Hector?
That's it.
Okay. Terrific. I have a question, and I think at the benefit of you just kind of filling in, could you just comment a little bit on the ratifications again on for the certified CGA, that temporary recognition of license? I think I think other appraisers may have that question as well.
Sure. First, the out-of-state real estate appraisal licensing, that one is basically, you can call it a reciprocity. So it's an out-of-state endorsement, and as long as they can produce their real estate license from another state with their fee, along with the as long as they're in good standing from other states, we can issue that without, of course, the board's approval. And we have about 10 a year for that one. For the temporary recognition of license, that is dictated by the feds, basically. And if they apply, and again, if all the documents have been submitted, we have 5 days, the state has 5 days to issue them a temporary license. Those guys do not have a number as far as licensing goes. They're just given a letter saying that you are approved to do appraising for that address. Normally they ask for 1 week, but the feds dictate that even if they only ask for 1 week, we must give them at least six months. So if they ask for next week, we have to say February to August, and that's the approval, basically. Now that one we have 50, approximately 50 annually. Now of the 50, 10 are returnees, meaning that they have 1 license this year and they will ask again next year. Sometimes multiple for that year, basically. Now we can only issue it if, again, the answer no to the questions that have you been convicted, is your license been suspended, and if they say no, we still check the national registry. If the national registry has a record for them, then we send them a deficiency saying what happened and provide all the documentations. So again, go ahead.
So to clarify, but all of them they're mandatory for the state to issue them upon request if they fulfill all the requirements, all the checks.
Not just the state of Hawaii, but all states they only have 5 days. And in fact, they came to visit us last year. And because there was 1 person that was issued after 7 days because of the weekend, when we get audited, that's a no-no. Yeah, right. So the state, not just Hawaii, but all states must issue a temporary license within 5 days of if all the documents have been satisfied.
So while this is the first time that I've seen it in my time on the board, it's actually something that happens continuously over the
continuously, yes. It's continuously. And again, like I said, normally we have about 50 a year. And so that breaks down to what? About 20 every 3 months. Yeah.
I see. Is it possible on the temporary recognition of license to produce the licenses for us to review, even though they're mandatory?
Sure. Well, what we'll do as for the next meeting, what I'll do is I'll redact the applications and I'll provide them as a just like the regular applications where you can see. I'll redact the information. I'll keep the address because they are required to provide the address, or if it's a hotel, if it's let's say Ala Moana Boulevard, they are required to put those in and the dates that they're requesting. But like I said, even though they only request for 1 week, feds require that we must give them at least 6 months. And if we don't, then audit-wise, we're in violation.
Got it. So I just want to give Ron or Amy, do you have any questions, or Mark regarding this? Okay. Thank you, Hector. That helps a lot.
No problem. Thank you.
So okay, well, the next meeting then, I think we've gone through everything. The next meeting will be Wednesday, April 16, 2025. And with that, the meeting is adjourned. Thank you all.
Thank you all.